Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Our world is just proving how much they hate Black people, especially Black women. It's when it comes to and I'm talking about not only the racist Republican conservatives, but also even people of color. Like so many different demographics, they always hate on us. But then when they need our help and we don't jump when they say jump, then they say we're awful people. Or they say it's time for us to come together. Right? Hispanic community. Yeah, I'm putting you out there. I haven't really put you out there nearly as much as some of the other communities, so it's your turn. Because Black women before the election, we kept telling you guys about Project 2025. We kept reminding you of the history of this country. And they kept saying how they want to take African American history out of the schools. And they kept doing banning books by African Americans. And with DEI and so many different things, they were just showing and proving how much they hated us. But you did not care. You did not care because it did not affect you. And also, I'm learning with the Hispanic community, when they say make the race better, that means date white. And messing it up or putting it down is dating black. And I mean, I've met some Hispanic people who have said some pretty crude, awful, racist things to me, but then they say they can't be racist because they're not white. Yeah. But then especially when some of them get to know me, they tell me I'm trying to be white, or when they find out about my education or about my goals, then they try to tell me I am trying to be white. Yeah. But it's just crazy with how, even with college acceptance, you took a great foundation that helped many people of color be able to get accepted into college because yet again, African Americans used to not be allowed to read. They were not allowed to go to certain schools or even go to college, period. So then that's why they built like colleges and universities for Black people. But it really annoys and frustrates me when even Asians and Hispanics and people that are outside of the Black community try to say that it's racist that there were schools built for Black people. I have literally had people tell me, well, you guys were racist about the schools, so isn't it their turn? When it's like, what are you talking about? The Black schools and colleges and universities were built because we weren't allowed in the universities for white people. We had our ancestors had to build them because of the come up. We weren't allowed in the come up. And it's just crazy and amazing with how much hate we get because now, after they had that, like, the Supreme Court reversed it, now the Caucasians have now partnered with some Asians again, and now they are suing, saying that schools are racist because they say whites and Asians should be getting more of the slots above African Americans. But that's not racist, right? It's like we can't be smart. Because even I've told you guys in so many episodes how, especially with my ex's mom, but even when I go to job interviews, over the phone, everything's great, everything's smooth. But then once they see me face to face, majority of the time it's because I'm Black. Sometimes it's my disability. It was undiagnosed, but I apparently walked very different. But yeah, I guess to so many people, Black means dumb. I don't know why, when we have some tremendous moves within the science field by African Americans. We have a young man who created a soap that can, I think, detect or cure skin cancer. And then there's women in Africa who created, I believe it's like a battery that runs on urine. I mean, come on now. Come on. You know they were imaginative. You know, I mean, the like you can't say we're dumb. And then how many fashion designers or black fashion designers are they have their ideas stolen by white people or by other nationalities all of the time. All of the time. But and then when we had a black Ariel, black Little Mermaid, it's like on so many different Disney posts. Whenever it is about Haley Bailey's real life version of the Little Mermaid, that's not my Ariel. Oh, she ugly. Oh, I was like, I wouldn't want a slave as a mermaid. I was like, why are we going down? We should be staying up with the white. Like I've heard so many racist things. And when I call them out and say that they're bigots or racist, oh, of course I have to be a racist. Yes, you just said that Haley Bailey's a slave mermaid. Yes. Yes, exactly. You are a bigot. Like, like we're in like, come on now. But it's just now with How to Train Your Dragon, I've been seeing some racist things. And then with Ironheart, I'm seeing a lot like people saying, I hope it goes badly. Oh, why are they putting a black woman in this? Oh, she has no business in this when the comic book is with a black woman. This is going based off of the real comic book from back in the day. And then people keep wanting to say that it failed and stuff like that. Yeah, it wasn't marketed that well. I did my research. They didn't market it well at all. And with a lot of books that have black women as main characters, yes, we have a harder time getting sold because people don't care about us. People don't want to read about us. They don't want to connect with us. They don't want to have empathy for us. They don't want to have compassion for us. They don't care. And one reason why most white people tell me, oh, well, when you write your book, make sure your character isn't black. It's like you want to make sure everyone can connect to the character. How come everyone can connect to a white person? It's like when the white people are the colonizers, when the white people are the ones that enslaved and punished and killed and destroyed and did so many things, took over, stole, created the apartheid. But oh, yeah, speaking of the apartheid, we're bringing more. It's like the orange man brought more white apartheid ancestors over. But yeah, it's like this isn't racism. They're literally kicking out the brown people from the country while bringing in white people from the people who like had like just suffered and tortured people for years and decades. Yeah, but that's not racist, right? That's not racist, right? And so I'm going to write my book, and my character is going to be African American, and she's going to be slaying with her African American beautiful hair and skin. And she's going to have natural hair. Sometimes she's going to have a sew in. Sometimes she's going to have an afro. Sometimes I'm going to let her change it up because that's what Black women do. I'm going to allow her to be powerful. I'm going to allow her to also be more dainty at times. She's a 3D character. She has her times and her moments, but she's also going to have that frustration from the disability because people around her don't understand and refuse to understand her situation and things like that. So I'm going to show the outside ignorance of what she's going through as a Black woman and so a woman with a disability. And I know people are not going to understand, people are not going to want to read, but I'll get over it. If you're not part of my demographic, I'll get over it. And if you don't have an open enough heart to be willing to allow a character that is the opposite of you, when Black people and people of color have been forced to have to do that all their lives, and then when the white look at so many parts of Asia where they bleach their skin, like, no, watching K dramas even, like sometimes I'm looking like, and I'm not hate, like that's your choice. That's what, like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But it's just, it's crazy with what's going on right now and all of the racism. And people keep saying being white or joining the white community makes you better. And I mean, white people say they don't understand the white privilege. But the privilege is, that's how you got this man voted in. Because the orange guy kept saying how the Hispanic community or how Mexicans were so many deplorable things, dragging them. And then that uh, comedian, yes, I can talk today. He was, what did he call that island? What did he call that island? When Colin Kaepernick was bringing up amazing and great points about police brutality, what did he call him and other football players that kneeled and other athletes that kneeled? What did he call them? How quickly did he let out the January 6 people? And then many of them turned around and did another crime? And what did he do to the Parkland 6? Or Parkland 5, yeah, Parkland 5, sorry. And they were innocent. And I mean, I've just gotten started, but there are so many awful terms. Oh, yeah, what did he call Africa? What did he call Africa? Yes. So, oh, and then during COVID, what did he call COVID? Kung flu, right? And then many of his followers started hurting and like ABUSC ing on the Asian community and everything. But yeah, oh, it seems like they forgot about that. How come whenever some racism hits you guys or hits people of color, but then how quickly you're just like, oh, well, all this awful stuff happened to us, but whatever, they're white. Sometimes that's how I feel. Like, that's how it looks. Because when black women kept saying, be careful, look what's happening, and then they were like, oh, well, it's on both sides. You had the audacity to say it's both sides. And then some people say that Kamala Harris had a terrible, like, try at it. It is like, no. One side was lying. One side was just saying what they knew you wanted to hear so they could trick you. And then they were going on so many different red pill podcasts because a lot of men out here nowadays want power. They want power. They love the power. And they don't like, and men, if this is hurting you, that means I'm talking to you. But if you know I'm not talking about you, it won't hurt a bit. But a lot of people are enjoying, like, some people say, oh, I did it so I can have save money, I did it so I can do this. Like, do you know the pattern of the orange guy's businesses, how many times he scammed you? And oh, look at the meme coin, and then look at his wife's meme coin, and now his wife's gonna have a documentary. And then he like had a dinner where you had to literally pay millions to go to, and oh, that dinner looked like Play-Doh. But it's like now he's pardoning people that are paying, like, well, it appears, in my opinion, it appears like they're paying him off to get out. And now he's actually even thinking about pardoning people who tried to kidnap a governor. Just think about just think about that. Just think about that. Yeah. Yeah. And so after all of that, we still have people who love and adore him. To me, I call them bigots. You're like, if you're still with him right now, you're a racist, you're a bigot. That's my opinion, but that's how I see you. And I doubt you will ever change my mind. After having a list of dating standards on 3 different dating apps and seeing how these men degraded me and wrote me, I mean, they saw a black woman and they decided to drag me. Even the black men too. Yeah, it's like black guys. Like, I don't mean to be hard on you, black men, but it's crazy how so many of you keep saying how you want the come up, or you want a loyal woman, you want all this other stuff. But then when many African American women, we're working on that come up. We're trying to start our own businesses and go to college and go to school, or if not, maybe get a trader certification or try to start a business. You don't need to go to school to start a business. So it's like any of those routes and things like that. But then men, or some certain black men, I mean men period, but certain black men to other black women, they get mad at that. And it's bewildering. And it's just to the point where it's like I said, with colleges, now we have two different demographics teaming up together against us. And now some of the Hispanic community is telling us that now we need to come together. We were asking you to come together before the election when you told us that we were liars and making things up. But then remember when Biden, during one of his last like state of, or no, yeah, State of the Unions and things like that, when he was talking about how the Republicans were trying to take away Medicare, Social Security, and things like that, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and the other little, okay, I'm gonna be nice, gonna be nice. I'll just say that other girl, yeah. It's like when they stood up and tried to call him a liar. Look at what they're doing right now. Everything black women try to warn you about, everything we try to tell you, everyone kept saying, like laughing at us or telling us we were a liar, or saying that we only wanted to vote for Kamala because she was a black woman, and that Kamala only wants to be black when she wants to be black and stuff like that. But then, even with that thought, you forgot about the one drop rule either way. So she is black because her daddy's black. So, yeah, yeah. But anyway, I'm just at a loss for words because you don't want us to be main characters in a story or a movie or anything like that. You want to hide our history, and you want to tell the history in different ways that's not true. And then some cities are trying to bring back segregation, while the president did bring back segregation in like the federal way. And now look what he's doing to the LGBTQ community. And I think he wants to rename, like, that Jeff Henson, that one jerk. He wants to rename one of the ship vessels because it's named after a amazing man that served, that was gay, and he was assassinated. I started reading up on it. I just read up a little bit, but I plan on doing more research on him. But all I need to say, thank you for your service. And I'm so sorry that so many hateful, awful, terrible, stupid, idiotic people are out here. And so many people want to say, why do they have pride? They have pride for being alive. They have pride for surviving through the hatred of ignorant, awful, terrible people that surround us. And that's one reason I think that a lot of black women have their backs, because we are like we've had to fight such a terrible fight for so long. And when I look at the LGBTQ community, I empathize because I feel like our battle is kind of similar in a lot of ways, because the country didn't care about us. They'll drag us. It's like even with the right to vote, a lot of like people forget about how the white women convinced black women to help them, like, oh, we'll have your back, let's do this, like. But then once the white women got the chance to vote, they're like, no, never mind, and they left black women hanging. And that it's like, so it just feels like whenever another demographic needs our help, in the past, black women were like, we got your back, let's do this together, we got you. But then as soon as that other demographic has it, they'll leave us in the dust. They don't care. They'll Scar slash Lion King us. You know what Scar did to Mufasa. You know what he did to Mufasa and what he tried to do to Simba. We all know that story. Yeah. Yeah, he tried to, like Mufasa us. And it's really sad. Very extremely sad. Because if they want to say that we're dumb, but 92% of us were smart enough to know better. And then African American women are the most highly educated demographic in this country, but they want to say that we are dumb. We try to get business loans and things, but we are denied the most. This this world hates us because it's like not just America has this issue. Many countries around the world do not like black women. But then again, they celebrate and praise the same people that the reason why a lot of countries have Independence Days are from those very people. Are from those very people. And that's the awful scary part of it. They they celebrate the same people that tortured and dehumanized them and that told them that they were not good enough. And so like whenever I hear like the Hispanic community tell me, or even with when I watch the YouTube videos, because I've actually had a Hispanic guy ask me out, but I will never forget when we ended up not going on the date because I blocked his number because during the conversation he wanted to he kept asking me questions about my complexion. And so that's when I realized, oh, he's trying to make sure if we have kids that our kids come out light. That's the only reason he's trying. Yeah, that's the only reason. hmm And even with how I talk, he was just like, oh, you got that pretty little white girl voice. I'm tired of men telling me that I talk white. Like, no, I just talk how I talk. I don't talk white. I don't talk like I'm from the suburbs of Michigan. So don't go there. No. And then when you blame my educate, like, oh, you got this education because you're trying to be white. No. I love education. I'm a nerd. So it's like even after all of my degrees and things and my certifications, I still love learning. I try to learn something every day. I stay up on my politics every day. And that's one reason why a lot of these white men, they don't like debating me. And it's like, it's really crazy how when the Republican men, they try to write me after the debate because a lot of times the Republican guy that's talking against me, he ends up yelling at me or calling me stupid and the R word and stuff like that, or Jim Crow and stuff like that, because I start bringing up minimum wage, child care, and the need for like all everyone to have Medicaid or Medicaid for all, and also the problems and issues of people trying to go to college, and we should have college for everyone because even people say, oh, well, you're going to have a great job and this and that, but then you try to apply for a job, it's $12 an hour. And then if you want a family, if you want kids, if you want to buy a house, yeah, good luck with that. But then when I start bringing up my points and everything, and then also bringing up history and stuff, yeah, a lot of them are so ignorant and poorly educated and just idiotic. And some of them have a little, like, oh no, they have a lot of bigotry in them. So that's when they just start yelling at me. But then the Republicans think that they won because they start yelling at me to the point where I'm like, okay, well then we can't have this debate then. We can't have a discussion because you're just yelling that I'm a R word. You're just saying that I'm stupid because I want everyone to have minimum wage. But the person who is against raising minimum wage has not worked a job since he got out of prison. You have not paid taxes in how many years? And you, because I know this because you bragged to me about it. But then the Republican men try to write me, oh, he got you. Okay. Oh, he did? Oh, he got me? Okay. Okay. Yeah. And they call me the N word, the R word, the P word, the B word, any of the ABC words, anything that they can come up with. They try to drag me down or try to make me look stupid, but look what's going on with this country right now. Looks what's going on with these tariffs too. Look what's going on with the farmers right now. Because, oh, yeah, that was another thing that, oh, he hated because he said I was lying. So I sent him the link of how, because of racism, two times the government has had to pay millions of dollars to African American farmers because throughout those years they were denied the funds because they were black. They only gave the money to the white farmers. And he kept calling me a liar, so I had to send him. And I sent him two or three different ones so he knew that it was not a lie and made sure that some of them came from the government website. Yeah, he didn't like me. Like, yeah, they don't like me because I'm ready. I'm educated and I know what's going on. And it's just sad how this country hates black women so much. They don't even want us to have the Crown Act. They don't even want us. It's like they say that if we get a job, it's only because of DEI, if it's a high enough paying job. And we can't be smart enough. We can't be capable. That's what they want to say. That's what they keep saying. And then with so many of the issues in this country, and now with a lot of people of color who are being like just sent away, now people want our help. Now people are, oh, I think I regret my vote. Yeah, because, okay, first you only thought that he was going to hurt black people. First, you only thought he was going to hurt black people, so you did not care. Even though he kept saying how, like, he every time he puts down people, it's brown people and black people. But whenever they bring up the hate groups, whenever they bring up the clans, what has he said about them? There's good and bad on both sides. And then the whole stand up, sit down, like that one thing before what happened with January 6th. Yeah. And then journalists, they're taking pictures of the ICE people. And how many have they taken pictures of that have Klan tattoos on their bodies? And they're wearing masks too because they don't want people to find out. Yeah. So, but look how, and then people want to, or the Republicans will keep wanting to say, Democrats were the ones for slavery when do your homework, do your history. Because, yes, Democrats were the ones that were for like more of the racism and stuff like that. But look up when the parties switched. That's what I keep trying to make sure I talk about. Do your homework. Do your homework. The party switched, especially when the Christian bigots years ago, many years ago, they were like, oh, we got to fix some things. And we don't want black people having their freedoms and liberties. And we need our country to be more of a white Christian country. So that's when they started converting or getting the Republicans over to their side because then they were going to vote against black people, dehumanize black people, and just, yeah, it's so much more than that. But this country hates black women. And yes, I want to say black people, but a lot of black men are even putting down black women lately because even with the Iron Heart and different things like that, even black men are saying, I'm not going to see this tired show. Why would I want to see this? I'm already, and one guy was like, I'm stuck with a black woman all day. Why do I want to watch one on TV? Okay. Okay. And this is why make sure I point out the black men too, because we've been through so much and we have helped. It's like we have so much empathy for so many people, but we get tired. I know I'm tired. When men tell me there's no point in politics or I'm stupid for being interested in politics, you're showing your privilege. And guess what? Yeah, majority of them are white. Majority of them. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And Black ladies represent.